So, like Agnes said, it's really nice and really warm welcome, still virtual, but a very warm welcome to everyone in this masterclass of May for the Customer Experience Focus Group of Sapiens. We are very, very happy to be here and sharing all experience of customers, partners, and of course, like today, SAP. Together with myself, I'm Marjolein, working for Flexo, but I'm a proud volunteer of the Sapiens organization. And I co-host together with Agnes Debris from Atlas Copco. So Agnes, maybe 2 words about yourself.
I'm also a proud volunteer to facilitate the exchange and working for Atlas Copco. And I believe that there's so much to learn from others' experience. We can avoid making the same mistakes. So I'm promoting that. I'm happy that you are joining, and we are trying to introduce nice topic for you over the year, month after month, and we invite you to look at the sessions for June. We try to have a session every month, and there are some sessions coming in for June with the ethics company sharing what they have done on Commerce Cloud, and there will also be the Kangaroo partner sharing what is how a perfect store could be set up in a Sales Cloud for a brewery, and so this is upcoming. But today the focus is on the sharing with SAP. So thank you, Marjolein.
Yes, and then we are fully supported, of course, by the Sapiens organization and the Sapiens director, Tracy, who is also in the call today. So Tracy, warm welcome to you, and maybe also a few words from your side.
Thank you so much, Marjolein and Agnes. It's a real pleasure to work with volunteers such as Agnes and Marjolein, and a lot of work goes into pulling these events together, and we're just very grateful to have such volunteers that share such passion in supporting the user group. So I just quickly want to bring to your attention in the chat box, please do note that I've inserted the Learning Hub link just for ease of reference. Please do check with your colleagues that you don't miss the deadline date of missing out on the discount. Obviously, as a member, you're able to purchase the Learning Hub licenses at 840 euros per license. So please, if you need any information, just reach out to me, but I have inserted the link. Then, as per Agnes was and Marjolein talking about the next sessions upcoming for CX in June, also, if you look in the chat box, I've actually inserted the link for ease of registration. Please, just during the session today, click to the link and just register. Then you're already set up and will be attending the ETEX and the Kangaroo session on the 17th of June. And I think that was, and then one more is that we are hosting the hackathon, the first virtual hackathon for Sapiens. The final date and event will be on the 15th of June, but please do also click through to that link. How we've actually set it up to give all the teams visibility as they hack the customer challenges is that we've created a blog site. So all the different teams are uploading blog updates, photos, videos, and how they're actually bringing the challenges together. So again, the link is there. Please just click through to support all the teams that are participating in the hackathon. And that's it from me. So thank you to our wonderful volunteers and all you lovely attendees and our speakers today. Thank you very much. Enjoy the session.
Yeah, so we will start with the session. And today we are very happy to have SAP presenting on a very interesting topic, being the full lead to cash process and scenario in the SAP Intelligent Suite. So I would like to introduce Christian and Gavin from SAP. But guys, up to you to introduce yourself and to start sharing some great content.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me share my screen. So please just let me know if you can see my screen.
We can share your screen, Christian.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for the first introduction, and also a warm welcome and hello from my side. And Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to present this topic to the Sapiens. It's always a pleasure to talk to customers, partners, but also I like to talk to user groups because I very much appreciate also the feedback which I can receive afterwards. So feel free to send me your feedback and your questions also after this presentation. My name is Christian Anderker, as already mentioned, and I'm from the SAP Customer Experience Product Management, where I'm responsible for the lead to cash process. So yeah, I'm here with my colleague Gavin Ron. He's a CX solution advisor, and he will show the demo we are planning during this presentation later on. As already seen in the introduction, we will take a look. We will talk about our lead to cash process. And today's topic is the overview about the lead to cash process with the following title, Turn Prospects into Lifetime Customers. So this brings us already to the legal part of the presentation, because I'm planning to show some roadmap. So as I'm going to show some roadmap items in this presentation that might change over time, I ask you to not make your buying decision based on this kind of roadmap items. I will clearly highlight when we talk about roadmap, so it's just the legal framework. So let's start with today's agenda. So over the next hour, we are going to cover a lot of topics and hopefully a lot of interesting topics for you. Let's start with the Intelligent Enterprise Strategy. This is an SAP-wide initiative, and the lead to cash process is a fundamental part of this strategy. So I would like to start by telling a few things about the Intelligent Enterprise, followed by the lead to cash process details and how does this fit into the SAP's Intelligent Suite. Plus, we are going to provide a live system demo. It's done by my colleague Gavin. And after that, I want to give an outlook about the whole year 2021. What can you expect in terms of lead to cash? I also want to show the roadmap tool and how do you find more information. After that, I'm trying to show you some useful resources. So once more blog posts, roadmap tools, integration, white paper, etc. And at the end, of course, feel free to send your questions. Feel free, by the way, anytime to say your questions in the chat, and then we try to cover most of your questions during the presentation. So let's get started with an insight into the Intelligent Enterprise Strategy. Yeah, if we take a look at the company goals of different companies today, there is always a common ground. Everyone wants to provide the best possible product or the best service, but of course it needs more. It also needs a good employee experience and also customer experience so that it can be sustainable and successful at the end. Yeah, as you can well imagine, these company goals are achieved by different departments within the company, and this naturally results in silos in the department, but also between the individual areas of your company. And the challenge now is to show you how all these areas and departments work together seamlessly, because we are not talking about one product strategy. We are talking about how we bring all the solutions together and what are we as SAP providing to you to create your own seamless product suite. So the question now is, what does it need to do that? First of all, I think we need to listen to the customer. What does the customer want? What does the customer need? And I have to meet customers where they are, whether they're on Facebook, Instagram, they are in your web shop, in store, so even offline. And all this information has to come together at the end to provide an experience or a good experience for the customer. What else do we need? Yeah, in my opinion, we need to deliver personalized, trusted, and connected customer experience. Because building trust, you all know that, building trust could take years, but the loss of trust could happen within seconds. And And to meet the customers where they are and deliver this kind of personalized, trusted and connected customer experience, my solutions or my systems, of course, need to be integrated. And yeah, the complete process should be integrated as far as possible out of the box. Nevertheless, there is always a need to integrate third-party systems as well, which means we have to create a kind of open ecosystem. But no matter how much, I think without integrated systems, silos will arise anyway. And the question now is, how do we address this topic as SAP? And to bring everything together, we have created this graphic, which shows that the intelligent enterprise strategy consists of multiple layers, and this is divided into 3 areas. So the business processes, the applications, and the technology. The business processes is this colored line. It means, or it represents all the departments within your company. It could be HR, it could be sales, marketing, service, production, and so on. And yeah, you may also have a business network that includes our Ariba solution, for example. And then we have the application layer, and here are our individual solutions, with which I will go into detail in the next slide. And the third layer is the technology layer. It's our underlying technologies on the business technology platform. Today, we are mainly in the upper corner, in the upper processes, which is the colored line, and we are in the application layer. We are taking care about the intelligence suite, and I will explain the business processes. Yeah, in the previous slides, I talked about the seamless integration already, and now I want to clarify how do we try to achieve it, or how do we, what can we as SAP offer to you as a customers and partners? Yeah, to connect all departments, we have defined the following 4 main business processes as reference processes. So we have the lead to cash process, the design to operate, source to pay, and recruit to retire. Of course, these processes also have sub-processes and should therefore map most of the processes in your company. This was done not only to define something, this was done to identify and avoid any silos that may occur and to ensure the uniform process. And today the focus, yeah, it's obvious, is on the lead to cash process, which mainly contains sales, service, and marketing functions, but also includes the S/4HANA processes, of course. Yeah, looking closer, the process is a combination of several solutions which are here. So, and yeah, at the application level, we find the SAP solutions, which and today we are focusing on the customer experience solutions and also the ERP, which is our S/4HANA, the digital core, because these solutions are the home to a large part of the process. Yeah, let's take a look at the customer experience solutions in detail. This view shows an overview of the solutions. And yeah, previously, before I joined product management, I was working as a consultant for C4C marketing, but also the integration. I was also working as a project manager on many huge implementation projects. And so that's why I often talk to customers, partners, user groups, but also to internal colleagues. And I know from my experience that many of you already know our CX portfolio very well. But nevertheless, I would like to get a brief overview of which solutions are part of the SAP CX portfolio. In short, I would say our SAP Customer Experience solutions support you in many phases of sales, service, and marketing, with solutions like the SAP Marketing Cloud, SAP Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, through e-commerce, with Commerce Cloud, and of course, the Customer Data Platform. Along with other solutions such as experience management, this enables our customer to deliver this kind of personalized and end-to-end customer experience. I think, from my opinion, nothing is worse than a lost customer who has been discouraged by a poor customer experience. So here I'm not going into details, so you can find a lot of detailed presentations and enablement material via sap.com, and there are also a lot of sessions around and a lot of enablement videos. So I would say let's go directly to the lead to cash process now. In a nutshell, we have now seen what the intelligent enterprise strategy looks like, what are the main business processes, and what does its application level look like. So very often, even in internal discussions, my colleagues, they ask me, when talking about lead to cash, the question comes up, please explain the lead to cash process in 1 or 2 sentences. So my personal definition, whenever I talk to someone, I explain it like it's an agile integrated business process that combines multiple SAP solutions, and it covers the entire business process from the initial interaction with the prospect to order fulfillment and also service delivery. Let's go into details. So if we think of a company that wants to sell a product or a service, this is normally not a linear path or process. It's rather, I would say, a volatile journey. And that's what we can see here in this honeycomb diagram. You can see there is not one process along these boxes. It could have many start points, it could have also different endpoints, and it doesn't necessarily mean that our customer really buys something at the end. The customer could also discard the shopping cart at the end. And this shows that we can have many variants of this customer story, I would say. The challenge now is, the challenge we as SAP have now, but also you as a customer, you have now to map this customer journey as a business process. And the business process is this one. This is the lead to cash process. And I've taken this diagram from the SAP API Business Hub. And I give you a demo later on about this Business Hub, where to find it, because I think that's, when talking about lead to cash, that's the best enablement material, and that's something everyone should know when discussing processes and also architecture. If we now compare both figures, you see a large number of variants on the left side, where you can see the linear process on the right side. And the question now is, what I want to clarify or what I want to explain is, how do we bring these two worlds together? And we have decided to map the lead to cash process as a kind of customer journey. In this case, it's as a first step, we focused on a B2B customer journey. So far, the lead to cash process is a B2B customer journey. And here you can see the process from a first contact with a customer through to the successful sale of a product. We also include a service and subscriptions here. So I would say let's start by taking a closer look at this process and break it down into 5 sub-processes. And again here, I don't want to go into the last detail, because Gavin will show a demo which covers, I would say, 90% of this slide is covered by a live system demo, and I think it's more interesting to see it in a demo instead of hearing it in theory. But nevertheless, let's walk through these 5 sub-processes. So the first sub-process is the contact to lead process, where we execute we create and execute marketing campaigns to generate leads. So we approach our customers via email, and then once the campaign is executed, we are creating leads. We hand over this lead to the sales team. The lead is automatically assigned to the proper salesperson. Then the lead nurturing happens. The lead will then be qualified at the end. And then we are moving to the opportunity to quote sub-process, where the opportunity is created. Salespeople can then work on that opportunity. They have pricing functionalities. They receive cross and upsell recommendations. They can also add discounts. And in the next sub-process, the quote to order, the quote is presented to the customer. There can be a negotiation, so they can send the quote back and forth. They can also, here it's called quote and cart. So this means the sales rep can also share the quote directly to the customer's e-commerce account. And in the e-commerce account, the customer could say, stop, I want to have more discount, or I want to have additional products. So they can do this back and forth between the systems. Once the customer accepts the quote, we are going to create the order, and then we end up in the fifth sub-process, which is the order to cash process. And here we are handling the order, we are delivering the product, we can schedule a technician, because here we have added an installation service in this example to the quote, but we have also added a subscription. The subscription will start, and then the customer receives the invoice, and at the end, the revenue is booked and posted to the finance system. I would say now we don't see, so as mentioned, Gavin will show that in a real system demo, so you will see everything in action soon. And now we don't see any SAP solution here. That was on purpose, because this brings us to the next slide, which is this one. So here we see a simplified description of the process and the corresponding SAP solutions. And I have used here the SAP portfolio names to simplify this process. These portfolio names can contain various SAP solutions, of course. And let's take a look at some of them. The process often starts with a marketing campaign that is triggered by SAP Marketing Cloud. Sales can then use the Sales Cloud and Commerce to interact with the customer, like for opportunities, create quotations, creating orders, sending orders back and forth between the systems. And of course, all this information come together in the end in S/4HANA. If you now see all the solutions here on the slide, you probably wonder how these solutions fit together. And especially in this area, I've got a lot of feedback, or in the area of integration, I've got a lot of feedback from different user groups, but also from customers and partners, which we constantly working on, and we try to incorporate it into our process. So this also impacts our roadmap a lot. The next slide shows how we can imagine how the systems work together, and how do we or you become the seamlessly integrated intelligence suite. I think I really like that slide, and I could talk 3 hours about that slide, but I think also that's one of the most important slides I will show today, because that combines everything. In this case, the Intelligence Suite describes our aspiration to harmonize and improve the process, and this is done by all SAP organizations. This is very important because you can see the 4 boxes on top. So it's not only lead to cash, which is our CX suite and S/4HANA, it also applies to all the other processes, which contains all intelligent enterprise solutions. So that's very important to understand. We are not talking only about lead to cash. Everything I'm telling you now applies to lead to cash, but also to all the other processes. And now, as already mentioned, I could talk 3 hours about only this slide, but I want to mention now, or I want to explain you high level, or I want to introduce high level, the suite qualities, which are 7 suite qualities. Let's say this like our internal guidelines, how we plan to bring all the solutions together, and how we want to enable you to run the intelligent enterprise. And I want to explain them high level, and then I'm choosing 3 of them: the seamless user experience, the end-to-end business blueprints, and the aligned domain models. I will choose the 3 of them, and I will explain them in more detail. And I'm also going to show you a demo of the API Business Hub that you at the end, you know how to navigate to the lead to cash material. So, but let's start with the first one, and let's walk through one to one. The first one is the seamless user experience. This contains various activities for UI harmonization. It's adjusting patterns and system behavior and so on. And I will show you more details in a minute when we go into the detailed section. The second one is the end-to-end business blueprint. Also, as already mentioned, I have some details about this. I think that would be very interesting. And this is various architecture diagrams published on the API Business Hub to help customers and partners to build architecture and integration accordingly. The goal here is to reduce the planning effort for implementation projects and to support architectural decisions. Also, it can help to improve the whole implementation of interfaces and the whole integration. It simplifies everything. The third one is consistent security and identity management. This includes all topics related to provisioning, single sign-on, user management, authentication, and the goal here is to reduce the manual administrative effort while ensuring seamless login across all solutions. And again, we are talking about all solutions, not only CX or CX and S4. We're talking about all intelligent enterprises here. The fourth topic is aligned domain models. This addresses the problem of point-to-point integration. So I think with more than one or with more than two systems, I'm talking from my experience about CX system. Let's use C4C and Marketing Cloud, or C4C and Commerce and Marketing Cloud. It's often already a major hurdle to the integration of master data. So, and this suite quality delivers semantically aligned API, because I have to say, historically grown systems and acquisitions naturally entail different data models, which is why they are now being harmonized in this exercise. So the goal here is to simplify the exchange of business objects and improve data consistency across the applications. I have two examples, which I'm also going to show in the API Business Hub. Example one is, it's currently already covered, by the way. It's the centralization of the exchange of business partners. So the object customer is already centralized, and I will show you that in a minute. How does it look in a data flow diagram? And the second thing is, we are planning the centralization of products also this year. So you will see more in the outlook of 2020. I think that's a major step forward in terms of integration. And number 5 is the coordinated lifecycle management. In terms of integration, this means we are working on a cloud integration automation service, which is called SIA, that automatically sets up the integration between our solutions in a workflow-based system. Just imagine you have a S4HANA system, you run Sales Cloud, a Service Cloud, and maybe Commerce, and then this system will automatically guide you through the integration of this system. The goal here is to accelerate implementation projects and reduce configuration effort. Number 6, I think it's 6 and 7, they are easy to explain, and also I think they are easy to understand. It's embedded and cross-product analytics, number 6. Some systems, as you probably know better than I do, have integrated individual reporting functionality, or at least simple reporting functions. One example is C4C. I think it's already enhanced reporting functionality, but nevertheless, for some time now, SAP Analytics Cloud has been the means of choice. So we now ensure that we can either embed or integrate SAP Analytics Cloud into the lead-to-cash process, which then leads to a more unified reporting view along the whole process across solutions. Again, all solutions, not only CX. Yeah, the goal here is to empower you to make fast and informed decisions based on this kind of comprehensive analytical data, which is coming from SAP Analytics Cloud. And the last one, I think that's the most easiest one to explain, one workflow inbox. If an employee works across areas, so for example, you have a sales manager, but he's also responsible for marketing and service, he could then receive, for example, approval requests. So the sales manager can approve maybe a sales vote, but also a marketing campaign, and he can be there to also approve some ticket solutions. And to have all, so usually he has to log into all the systems and approve his tasks. And now we are planning a one workflow inbox, which all these tasks come in, and then he can work on these tasks without having to log in on all the systems. And this is working on both mobile devices and desktop devices. The objective or the goal here is to accelerate processing of pending tasks. Yeah, that was the high level overview of our suite qualities. And so I want to now, as promised, the three of them to speak about more details. And we are going to start with the seamless user experience. So as already mentioned before, the historically grown or even acquired solutions, of course, had different UIs. That's obvious. And also I had a lot of discussions in the past regarding this topic with different groups. And also they have had different technologies. But as part of the intelligent enterprise activities, we have now harmonized the UIs. And also, again, not only for CX and S/4HANA, also for the other intelligent enterprise solutions. And as a result, the end user will not even realize anymore if he moves from one solution to another. So this is also a big step forward, because many people complained when we talk about persona-driven systems. They always told me, we don't have this kind of only sales persona. Our sales people also do service, or they also work in the marketing system, and then they need to get used to different UIs and different solutions. And now they all work the same way, they follow the same patterns, and they have, that's most important, the same look and feel. So now we can guarantee a smooth process and a streamlined look and feel. So for this, I have prepared a small or a little video, which shows a little bit the evolution of the different UIs. Let me explain it a bit. So it needs a bit explanation. You can see here the brighter part of the screen on the left side. This shows always the old UI, so the legacy UI. And on the right side of the screen, you can then see the evolution. So, and this border here is the line where it's changing from the old to the new UI. I'm playing the video. So, and you can see we have done this for all CX solutions, Marketing Cloud, but also S/4HANA, Commerce Cloud. They all have this aligned UI and look and feel. You can see S/4HANA also running on this Fiori theme. It's Service Cloud and Sales Cloud and Customer Data Platform. They all have the same look and feel. You can see the service scheduling, and also the Sales Cloud dashboard is now aligned with the other solutions. So having seen this, we will continue with another interesting topic, the aligned domain models. So where are we coming from? On the left side, you can see the one-to-one integration. And in the past, and it was also a huge pain for myself when I went through this implementation project, it was always a huge discussion how we integrate master data. Not only master data, also transactional data. But for master data, it was a high effort to discuss this this kind of integration. So here we can see a nice example of how it should not be anymore in the past. And the issues we had with this point-to-point integrations was there was a high effort. We had to spend a lot of time setting it up. And at the end, it was also not the most consistent way. And it was a nightmare in terms of monitoring. So we are going to change this now. And it's changed for one object already. What are we planning to improve is we would like to move from a point-to-point integration, which you can see on the left side, to a one-to-many integration, which means we centralize the master data objects and then we centrally distribute it, and rather than sending it from solution to solution. And this will make everything more consistent, more scalable, and also easier to set up. As mentioned, we will do this object by object, and we started with the business partner, the customer object, which is already working. And this year we will also provide a central distribution for the object product. And again, this is not only for CX and S4, it will work for the whole intelligent enterprise solution. Other objects we're working on in the future is the workforce person, cost center, supplier, and also assets, which is then equipment, registered products, iBase, etc. So I also want to show the third suite quality, which is the end-to-end business blueprint. I think we can learn a lot from this blueprint, and it makes also life for integration people much easier than it was in the past. And in the past, many people from customer, but also from partners reached out to me. They contacted me with the question, how about, how can we integrate the solutions? How will they work together? Do you have any architecture recommendations? And in the past, there was a lot of individual work providing architecture recommendations to customers and partners. And now we have created this end-to-end business blueprint, which deliver exactly this, which address exactly this demand. With this end-to-end business blueprint, we've published on the SAP API Business Hub. You can now follow our SAP standard process in an easy way. I would say, let's have a look into the API Business Hub. It's always more interesting to see it instead of talking about it. I will show you where to find it. You can go to api.sap.com, and here you can see you can log on. No S user is needed. You can just log into the system. And then on the left side, you see the business process category, and within this category you can see the lead to cash cloud process. And the connection is a bit slow. What a surprise. It's exactly the business process diagram I showed before compared with the honeycomb diagram. And you can see here already the high level business process diagram, and we made it interactive. So you can now deep dive into all of these boxes, and then you will be provided with the right guidance of how to integrate it. Let's open one box to show you how it works. So we can see the swim lanes between the systems. I will zoom in a little bit, and here the dotted lines are the integrations, and on the left side you can see the names of all the solutions. So this is really how we as SAP have planned the standard process, and you can see also the integrations The dotted lines, as mentioned, are the integration points. If I click on this box, this will guide me directly to the proper iFlow. So no need to try to figure out what could be the right iFlow. No, you can now use this kind of diagram, and then you can open it and you will be guided directly to the proper iFlow. So it also reduces the error rate. And you can see all the solutions on the left side and how we are planning to integrate it, and also the integration between the systems. There's another thing I want to show you. It's when talking about the API Business Hub, there's also this new beta version. If we click on Launch Beta, we will be guided to the new API Business Hub. It's not a lot of new content. It's more a nicer look and feel, and it's just a little makeover of the old API Business Hub. It's still in beta phase, but you can already use it. And in a few weeks, it will launch as the general available version. So now if we go to business processes here, we also can find the lead to cash process. And in here, we can find this famous data flow diagrams. I spoke about them because we have it for the customer object. It's in terms of centralization of data for the customer object and for the product. I want to start with a bad example, how we should not do it in the future anymore. So I start with the product, because here for the product, we can see it's a one-to-one integration. So it's a point-to-point integration. Yeah, here you can see we have here S/4HANA Cloud is the master for the product, and S/4HANA Cloud is distributing the data. It's going back and forth, and it looks like a mess at the moment. So this is what we are going to change with the aligned domain model, and I want to show it to you here for the business partner. Now we are talking about customer, and this looks a lot more clean, because here we are using the new business partner master data integration, which is then a lot more clean in terms of integration. And this is what I mean by talking about the centralization of master data. So that's it so far with the suite qualities and with the demo. So I'm now happy to introduce my colleague Gavin, who will show the lead to cash demo. So it's time for the demo. I would like to hand over to Gavin. Gavin, it's your turn.
Thank you, Christian. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes. We can, Gavin.
Okay, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Gavin Rons. I'm part of the Solution Advisory Team for Customer Experience at SAP Belgium. Before going to the Lead to Cash demo, I'd like to give you some context. So today, we'll be working as the best run company. This is a company specialized in manufacturing. They manufacture components like excavators, robots, etc. And they have this new robotic arm, the IMC 7000. It's a fast-moving payload robot. It was just released, and of course, Bestron want to promote it and sell it. To do so, we will have Barbara. She's working as a marketing specialist, and she's not really happy with the result of her campaign. So you will see how she will target directly some main customers. Customers she knows would be interested in those robots. Some leads will be created and automatically will flow to the sales cloud system, where her colleague Harry will pick up on those leads. He will get in touch with the customer. Today it will be Mark working at Pronto Hardware. It's a known customer of us. They purchased some robots in the past. But yeah, so Harry is going to try convince him to make him a quote for those new robotic arms, which he will be doing, and Mark will be really happy with the quote actually, and so it can directly be approved. And you will see how everything flows from Marketing Cloud to Sales Cloud, which in the end, and sales order creation in the S4 backend system. All right, let's start with Barbara in the Marketing Cloud system. So like I said, she's not happy with the result of the campaign and she wants to target some customer directly. Therefore, she's going to do a small segmentation, something really easy, just filter on the account-based marketing account and make some filter on the country, being USA. And in the end, she will make a filter for only the customer interested in aerospace and defense. This will lead to only 2 customers here, and for those, she will be creating a target group that she then can use in her campaign. So she's building a new campaign. I've already prepared it here to save time. But as you can see, we're not going to generate any mailing, any communication. We're just creating leads directly. All right, so those leads, they will then be automatic to our sales rep. Now in the shoes of the sales rep, Harry, I'm connected to my sales card system and I will be notified that some new leads are being created that are assigned to me and they have also been qualified directly. So as a sales rep, what I'm going to do is get in touch with my customer that we call Mark, and I will try to convince him to have a look at our new product. So I'll be calling him. I won't register the activity here in the system, but you can assume we would be doing this. And I will just tell him, look, we have that new robot. And by discussing with Mark, he lets me know they have today 4 robots, but they're getting a bit old, you know, and they can't do everything they like with them because they don't have all the functionalities. So I try to talk with him and convince him. In the end, he agrees that I can make a quote for him, that he has an idea of the pricing of all this. So what I would be doing is first create an opportunity from my lead. And that robotic arm, he told me he has 4 of it, so I'm going to exchange the expected value. They are about 85K every piece, so I'm going to put 340K for that one. All right. So my opportunity will now be created and I can directly create a new document, which is a CPQ order. All right, let me change the payment terms and open it directly. It's really easy for me as a sales rep because I don't have to log into another system. The CPQ system is automatically loading inside my screen, so it makes it really easy for me to do my job. All right. A new quote is being generated. For the moment, of course, it is empty. I don't have anything in my cart. So let's start adding the product. On the left side, you will see that we have a nice catalog. I can filter through different categories. I have a hierarchy and I can search for my robotic arm. But here I know exactly what I want. So I'm just going to type in the robot name directly here. And I know he's interested in a medium payload robot, so that's it. And let me start configuring it. You will see that when I start configuring the robot, I have different options, like also a 3D visualization. Let me try again. A 3D visualization which allows me to see directly, depending on the option I select, how the item will look like. So if I click here on 3D, you will see that's how it looks like by default. But for example, if I select another option here, let me select that one, you will see that the robot will change. It's now bigger, and this is directly seen here, which is really nice for me. Let me select some extra option. I'm pretty sure Mark will be interested in a belt tension measurement device. And I have some other option here, but as you can see, my item configuration is already complete, which means that what I've selected here is a valid configuration. That's one type of robot we can create, which is accurate and works. But let me continue and select some extra optional options. Right here, I'm also going to add some servicing. Yes, you want a service for the installation. And let me just add my document to the quote. All right, so I have my robot in here now. Like I said, he is interested. I hope he's interested in 4 pieces. So let me update it here. So our estimation was fine. It was almost a bit more than 340K. I'm not going to give any discount so far. Let me just propose it like this. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure he will ask for a discount later anyway. So let me just save my quote and let's generate the document that I can share with Mark from Frontal Hardware. really nice because at my company, at Bestfriend, we have different departments, and every department has their own template. So everyone can create his own type of document with different logos, different layouts. For me, I would be using the standard proposal here, but it's really nice because everyone can work with his own template. I can also have different options here. Today, I'm not interested in the executive summary. I have some case studies. Let me just keep the one from Atlas Copco. And yeah, I did not give any discount here, so let me not show this in the document. If later on I make a new code with a discount, I would be showing it this way. My customer can see that I give him a special discount. Yeah, while I was on the phone with Mark, he asked some technical question about the robot, the performances, and so. So I can also decide, here to just upload a new file. This could be a Word file, for example, with all the details about my robot, and I can just upload it and add it as an extra section in here. So it's really easy for me, just to add some extra documentation directly in the file that is generated. All right, let's create that PDF. I have different options actually to share this PDF with my customer. If we are connected to a Commerce Cloud system, I can just, send it to Commerce. What will this do? What will this do is just, it will create a quotation and assign it to my customer in his own account. So when he would be logging into Commerce Cloud, he can see that in the system, there will be some codes for him. He can visualize them, he can ask for some changes, but he can also directly approve them and sign them digitally, for example, using DocuSign. So that's one way. I can also just, send it by email. That's what I would be doing here. All right, so my customer has received the quote now, the document, and I can directly, and let's assume he just directly approves it. So he can approve it right away. So it's really happy with it. That's fine for us. Let me just place the order directly to ERP. All right. Once this was done, let me go back first to my opportunity. I can now refresh here my sales quote list. And if I open it again, we will see that a sales order was created in the system and that the ID can be found here. So I will copy it. And let's move back to my opportunity. What I want to show you also is that the document flow was automatically updated. So let me refresh it also. We can see that we have been starting from a campaign that generated a lead. I converted it manually to an opportunity. We made a sales quote for this opportunity, which in the end led to a sales order in the system. All right, so the job of the sales rep is done at this point, but I just want to go a step further and tell you how this would look like in the S4 system. All right, so let's go here and just open my my sales order. Go here, and copy the number, fine. All right, so I have all the details in here. I see the net value the same way as in CPQ, but what I really want to show you here is the configuration of it. Because all the options I've selected in CPQ, they have automatically flown to S4, to the S4 order. I see all the options I selected are here. I see also that I asked for some service, and everything is available here directly in the system. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you today. So what have we seen? We have seen that we started in Marketing Cloud, how we can easily generate leads that will then flow automatically to the Sales Cloud system. We saw how Harry could create a system, create a quote in CPQ without switching system, all from Sales Cloud. And in the end, you saw how we could, how this lead, this quote that is approved, generate a sales order that's that flowed to the S4 backend system and can now be handled by the fulfillment team. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. So back to you, Christian.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. So just let me know when you can see my screen. Is it working? Yeah. It's popping up.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks for the Kevin demo. It's always nice to see the systems working. I want to share some details and take a look into the future, what's coming in 2021. So what can you expect already this year?
And Christian, can I say something here? Because we are 5 minutes before the end. So in fact, it's very, very interesting sharing, and we do have quite some questions. And it's a question to the audience. Is it okay that we would go a little bit over time to give the chance to Christian to share the roadmap topics and also to answer to a certain number of questions? Yeah, so very sorry for going over time, but it's very interesting, so I suggest we do so.
Okay, yeah, I think we need only 5 or 10 more minutes. It should be fine. We're not that over time, hopefully. I will do my best. Yeah, in terms of roadmap, what we work on this year is we are not focusing, since now the focus was on pure cloud scenarios, and now we are bringing in also hybrid, which means on-premise variants. And one example is last year we were working and we finished the integration of SAP S/4HANA and subscription billing, which is our subscription billing cloud scenario. And this year we are focusing on the CPQ Prim integration, which is already available and can be used. So it's the integration for CPQ and Prim. Then the second point, I highlighted that many times already, is the product replication with the aligned data structure. It's exactly the master data service, and I saw a lot of questions about that. So this could be very useful for you. It will be finished at least at the end of the year. And then a third topic, and I also received, during the last few months, I received hundreds or tons of questions about the service process, because everyone is telling me, oh, sales looks very fine. What about service? And we are planning to bring together CX and S/4HANA, which then means also FSM, S/4HANA, and also C4C Service Cloud with the new agent desktop. We bring that together to deliver a seamless customer service experience as well. So we not only focus on sales, but also on service. Regarding the suite qualities, we are working on the consistent security and identity management. The plan is to enable SSO across all solutions. The coordinated lifecycle management means we are working on this automated integration setup. We are adding more and more automation. We are also adding more and more systems and more workflows. And we are working on the one domain model, so which means we semantically align APIs and data models. Yeah, so with that, I want to show you some useful resources, and then we can also show the Roadmap Explorer, because I saw some questions regarding roadmaps. Yeah, I would like to share some useful information like roadmaps, blog posts, strategy paper, open SAP courses, and so on. First of all, very interesting, I think, for all of you, it's the roadmaps.sap.com. We stopped working with this kind of, we are sending you a PowerPoint or a PDF document with the roadmap. Now, everything we have is now published on the roadmaps.sap.com, and under the business process lead to cash, you can see everything. If we have 2 more minutes, I will show that at the end. All the roadmaps related to lead to cash are here published. Then another very interesting thing is the SAP community page. Whenever you think about suite qualities, you find more information there. There are a lot of webinars regarding details. So there are webinars 1 hour or even sometimes 2 hours regarding all the suite qualities. So you can find all the information here in this SAP community page. A very nice page, and I would recommend to read through these documents. Then we have the help.sap.com. If you search for lead to cash, you can also find further enablement material and further information. And yeah, also very interesting, our new or brand new integration white paper launched at the beginning of March under sap.com/cloud integration, and this was published by our board members Jürgen Müller and Thomas Sauer-Essig. I really also recommend to check this document out. It's very interesting, and it shows the future, and it also shows achievements from the year 2020. One last thing, also the Open SAP course, SAP's Integrated Intelligence Suite, very interesting because they are also walking through all the suite qualities in detail, and I can also recommend to watch that. Yeah, we would then have arrived at the end of the presentation, and I will be happy to answer your questions. But I also, if we have 2 more minutes, I would like to show the Roadmap Explorer. Is it fine to show it, or should we come to the end?
I think so. Maybe regarding the service scenario.
Yeah. Okay. So it will be a quick one. 1 second. Yeah, this is the Roadmap Explorer, and if we go to processes and then lead to cash, we can open it. There was also a question from different people here regarding the Teams integration. If we now search for Teams, for example, we click on enter, and then you can see the roadmap for all the Teams integration topics. And if you click on this arrow, you can expand, and you can always find more details, and you find also the attached solution. So this is for SAP Service Cloud, and lead to cash means we bundle all products under lead to cash, and you can find all the roadmaps here. If we remove it again, you can find the whole lead to cash roadmap, and I think that's also very interesting to walk through all of these items and make yourself familiar with what's coming, and probably also what you can then expect from the lead to cash process. Oh, that's it from my side. Feel free to ask any questions.
Okay. Now the screen is coming, because the screen was not really coming for me. I don't know how it was for the other ones.
There was some delay indeed, but now we see it. So maybe it's good to just leave it on for 1 minute that people can indeed see. So the Roadmap Explorer, then looking for Teams, and then you can see indeed for Q4 2021, there's news about, for example, the Teams integration on the roadmap. But indeed, there's some delay, I think, Christian, on the network for you. Yeah. But we see it.
So I left it on the Teams search term now, so you can see how it works. So again, you can find it under business processes, then lead to cash, and then you find this page where you can find all the roadmap items for the whole lead to cash process.
Very good. The Teams integration is something very interesting for us as a customer with this virtual way of working now. It's really great.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions or any questions from the chat we can cover?
Yeah.
Yes, there are some questions. Let me see. It was one question, Agnes, that you raised about the business partner for customers. At least the master data service is available.
Maybe to be concrete, Christian, you say that now you will be harmonizing the data model on the product, but it's already available on the business partner. So for us as customer, we are already using some of the CX module. What does that mean? Is that something that is going to come gradually over the different release? Or the fact that the business partner model is aligned, it's more something that we will see when we buy new products and we implement new products from your portfolio?
Both. So, but you can still leave the integration as it is today. It's perfectly fine. But if you want to have the central data distribution, you can just use the service on the BTP or on the, let's say, formerly known as cloud platform. You can just use the master data service, the distribution, and then it's another interface, of course. you're switching the interfaces, and then you can use the central distribution. But there is no need to do that. It's just an offer from our side. And for SAP to SAP integration, you can use it for free. For SAP to third party, I think there is a pricing model, which I'm not aware about, but I think for SAP to SAP, it's for free.
Okay, very clear. So it's optional for us, and it means we can do it as a small project to make sure that we are improving the way we are working with our SAP products.
Exactly. Especially if you are planning to enhance the CX suite. So if you are running on a Sales Cloud today and maybe commerce, but you are planning marketing or any other solution in the future, then I would recommend them to move to the central distribution. This makes it much easier, but you can also stay on the old integration. There's no problem. It will not disappear, or it will be also supported. So no issue on that side.
Very good.
But onboarding new CX solutions, it would be best practice to start with the master data service for customer, for example, at least to make sure that you have the clean architecture like you showed on the slide, Christian, that it's clean and clear, and to avoid issues we know today. Or let's call it challenges.
And in the future, let's stick to the example of C4C, because C4C I know from the past very well. In the future, you will have the product, you will have the customer, you will also have assets, and this makes life much more easier than it is today.
I think it was a question from you, Agnes, also that would it also then include the variant configuration on the product master data?
Oh, this is something I can't answer now. That's something I need to take to the integration colleagues.
Okay.
But we will answer all the questions which are not answered until now. We will create a Q&A document for you and share it. So for sure you will get the answer.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. So Agnes, then maybe we can do a small wrap up. And of course, thank you very much for the presenters. I would say it was very nice content. It was a lot of content, but very nice to see, and also the tools. So thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Christian, for the preparation and the sharing of the session. And Tracy also recorded the session, so we can also share that further on the website, so you can share it in your organization, or people can review the session and the demo, because it's really nice to see end-to-end how everything is aligned. And yes, I don't know if you want to say some extra words.
Maybe from my side, lessons learned. I think it was it is very, very interesting information. We have plenty of questions we would like to ask, and that have not been answered yet or discussed yet. So next time we will take more time with you and with the different participants to answer to that. For me, I knew that inside SAP, you often got the feedback that you have you call it a suite, but it's not really integrated. It's not really working seamless. And this approach of having the suite qualities is a good way forward to make sure that even across the CX, but across the full portfolio, it's becoming seamless. It was great that you explained the principle and also what has been done already. And even with the demonstration, Gavin, we could see that it's not only theory, but it's in practice, in an end-to-end process. So that was really good to see, good learning, and sorry that we did not plan for more time to be able to have more interaction. And when I was having a question where I was saying, it's when we talk about lead to cash process, the lead to cash process, we tend to present it as a traditional process where we are quoting, or an e-commerce process. But why not merging the two? Why not having first a quotation? The quotation is sent to the customer, but enabling the customer to directly buy on e-commerce. And those are the reflections. We don't have the time today, but if we would interact with you, we could have those reflections on how can we, how do we see also the future of the end-to-end process. But sorry. So thank you for all the ones who have participated. Sorry that we could not answer the question. And next time we will take much more time. We hope to invite you again, Christian and Gavin then.
Thank you, everybody. And please, again, I've inserted the link at the bottom. Please just click through to register for our next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice lunch, everyone, and talk to you soon, at least virtually.
Thank you.